Birth Control and Family Planning in the United States and Mauritania by Lauren Rice. History. Birth control methods have been used by men and women for many years. Throughout these years, there have been many advancements in the methods that people have used. A timeline of the methods and events include around 3000 BC, condoms were made from materials such as fish bladders, linen sheaths, and animal intestines. Around the 1500s, the first spermicides were introduced. These were made from linen cloth sheets that were soaked in a chemical solution and then dried. In 1838, condoms and diaphragms were made from vulcanized rubber. In 1873, the Comstock Act passed in the United States prohibiting advertisements, information, and distribution of birth control. It also allowed the Postal Service to confiscate birth control sold through the mail. In 1916, the first birth control clinic in the United States was opened by Margaret Sanger. The next year, she was deemed guilty of maintaining a public nuisance and was sentenced to 30 days in jail. When she was released from jail, Sanger reopened her clinic and continued to persevere through more arrests and prosecutions that she faced. In 1938, the federal ban on birth control was lifted. Also, diaphragms became a popular method of birth control in this year. In 1950, Sanger, while in her 80s, undertook the research needed to create the first human birth control pill. She raised $150,000 for the project. In 1960, the first oral contraceptive, Enovid, was approved by the U.S. Food and Drug Administration as contraception. In 1965, the Supreme Court gave married couples the right to use birth control, ruling that it was protected in the Constitution as a right to privacy. However, millions of unmarried women in 26 states were still denied birth control. In 1968, the FDA approved IUDs. In 1970, the safety of oral contraceptives, the pill, were challenged by feminists at congressional hearings. As a result, the formulation of the pill was changed, and the package insert for prescription drugs came into being. In 1972, the Supreme Court legalized birth control for all citizens of this country, regardless of their marital status. In 1974, the FDA suspended the sale of Dalkin Shield IUD due to infections and 7 documented deaths among users. Although other IUD designs were not implicated, most IUDs were slowly taken off the U.S. market due to the escalating costs of lawsuits. In the 1980s, pills with low doses of hormones were introduced, along with a new copper IUD, Paragard. Growing awareness of the use regimen for emergency contraception also occurred in this year. In the 1990s, introduction of Norplant, the first contraceptive implant, Depo-Provera, an injectable method, FC1 Reality, a female condom, and Plan B, an emergency contraceptive product. In the 2000s, expansion in method availability and improvements in safety and effectiveness. Also, introduction of Mirena, a new levonorgestrel releasing IUD, Ortho Evra, a hormonal patch, NuvaRing, a vaginal ring, Essure, a method of transcervical female sterilization, Implanon, a single-rod implant, and FC2, an improved female condom, were released in this year. In 2002, the first implant, Norplant, was taken off the market. In the 2010s, Ella, a new emergency contraceptive pill, and Skyla, a new IUD, were introduced. There is a growing use of the copper IUD for emergency contraceptive since it does not have hormones in it. In 2013, after protracted regulatory and legal battles, one brand of emergency contraceptive pill, Plan B One Step, becomes available without a prescription on drugstore shelves. Today, more research is needed on women-controlled methods that protect against STIs